talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. Ow, we're babbling on. We're babbling on.
Did Joe Rogan just text you?
Oh wait, what the fuck?
That's a fake name, or do you have
No, that's I'm in this group. I'm in this group chat of little monsters, which obviously you're one of us.
Of course.
And it's all people I don't know them, but there's a guy in it named Joe Regan. Shout out if you're listening.
Oh, I thought you're just casually
Joe
texting.
Regan.
You're like, us podcasters gotta stick together.
Well, it's a busy time for a little monster group chat because obviously, have you seen the news?
What did she announce
this
again? What's it
Friday,
called?
we're getting lead single. I think it's called Disease,
Disease.
which is low key everything.
She said, okay, we're writing things backwards. Mine's gonna be upside down. Isn't the graphic? She wrote disease upside down.
Oh, I thought you were.
She said Brat Summer.
I thought you were talking about like the Mirror of Erised in Harry Potter. You know how it's desire backwards.
Yes.
Did you know that?
No.
Oh,
It's okay.
okay, fine.
I've seen the first 4 and then the second half of the last one.
Oh, bitch, we need to get you educated.
I know.
Question for you: did you see Joker?
I did not see Joker.
Oh, it's hell on earth.
That's what I've been told.
It's hell on earth.
I actually went to the movies yesterday and
Oh, you
saw. The options were Joker. Do I see The Substance again?
Oh, best film of the year.
Or do I see the new movie with seemingly no promo, which is the Florence Pugh and Andrew Garfield.
Oh yeah, why is that like not getting promoted at all?
I haven't heard of it. I guess like Andrew Garfield went on Chicken Shop Date and that's it.
And he talked about grief in a really interesting way.
Oh, I didn't watch.
No, he's actually really cool. His mom died. I is what I've
Immediately makes
discovered
him cooler.
and makes him cooler. And he talks about grief in this really like honest and cool way about how it's like, no, I'm not over it. It's always going to be with me. Type shit. I need to go listen to it more.
He's like, this person. Grief has taken up residency in my body now.
Grief is inside me and shows no
They're
signs
just going to
of
live there
leaving.
for a little bit.
Okay, wait. So let me intro my daughter. This is a super exciting development for the Babbling On industry machine. Today we have on the show New York City's premier drag queen, one of the tops in the world, regularly performing at places like Pieces, Barracuda. Where else are your regular spots?
Pieces, Hardware, Playhouse, Barracuda, and Rise.
Okay, cool. And I guess maybe we can later walk through your schedule for listeners who want to come. But
Let's do it.
please welcome to the stage one of the foremost film critics of our time and drag queen extraordinaires, Mrs. Izzy Uncut.
Hello.
Hi, whore.
Hi, baby.
Thanks
How are
for
you?
coming out here. I'm good. How are you?
Doing amazing.
You came from East Harlem? Do I have that right?
Similar, right over the river. I'm the closest to East Harlem you can be while living in the Bronx.
So you're in the Bronx.
Yes,
And you came down to Bed-Stuy
I did.
to talk about a really important thing.
I took a Blade, so it only took me about 5 minutes. Can you
A
imagine?
Blade. You mean like one of those scooters?
No, I meant like the Uber, but make it helicopter.
Wait, that exists? I'm like fully not.
Oh my god,
aware of what you're
absolutely.
talking
Yeah,
about.
you can get to the Hamptons in like a half
There's
hour.
a helicopter Uber.
Yeah, it's called Blade.
What?
Oh, you need to watch more Housewives.
I'm not up to speed. Wait, is that on the new Roni?
New Roni.
Okay, I need to catch up. I
Yeah.
watched season 1. I'm obsessed.
It's good.
Well, who's the
Second
girl with the red hair?
girl with red.
Reddish hair.
I'm trying to think. Am I
She's like the
stupid?
diva hot one.
I'm not sure.
On Roni.
Like the. Are you
With the
talking about Bryn?
freckles. Yeah, Bryn.
Bryn,
I love
yes.
Bryn,
She's
yeah.
great. She's the one that gets the blade for the girls.
Of course.
Of course. It was after an entire season of wearing a blade hat. I think she's like.
Is Blade
give me something
associated
for free.
with Uber or it's its own thing?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Anyway, before we dive into your topic, we do a sociological study here at Babbling On called The Eight. I don't know how familiar you are.
Oh
but
my God, I almost forgot. Well, I did completely forget
don't
about
forget
the eight.
about The Eight. The Eight. So Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, Samantha, Jessa, Hannah, Shoshana, Marnie. Like, who are you? Today.
Ooh,
Today. Or of all time.
I feel like I'm probably like Hannah right now. I'm feeling kind of Hannah.
Is that how you normally are?
I mean, I feel like anyone that wants to say that they're anybody that's like, I'm Jemima Kirk.
Yeah.
It's like you're not. Like
It's
no
like,
no one's
give
that
up.
like effortless and cool. And
I feel like a drag queen often is a Samantha. Is it fair to say that?
I think so too.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The first episode I listened to was your first episode, right? With Alec.
Yeah. Oh
Were
my
you-
God, you've been here since the start.
Been
you're
here
so
since the
sweet.
start.
I love you.
Yeah, and now it's been having a moment. The don't you want to judge me just a little bit? Not my style.
Is that having a moment?
It's having a moment on TikTok.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
Because that's one of my that's probably my favorite Samantha moment.
Somebody's
ever.
added like
Not my style.
not my
I didn't know it was
style.
getting like a public moment.
Yeah,
though.
there's like super cuts of like their
It's
friendship.
just a super kind of us. Hey! Oh, it's Carrie Samantha supercuts.
Yeah, it's
That's
very
not
cute.
bad.
So
You're
yeah, I
Hannah
feel like
today.
I'm like a Hannah today. I woke up, immediately put on the film we're about to talk about.
Yeah.
Took my notes. I felt like that was very academia, but it was like also like I'm such a mess because I gave myself exactly 2 hours to watch an hour and 45-minute film. Get ready, write notes on it, and come here.
Yeah, of course. So obviously we're going to talk about this film and we're about to reveal what that is. I do want to say also, like, I kind of want to ask you about like your drag career a little bit too, if you're
Let's do
down.
it.
Like maybe before we dive into the film, like tell me, how did you get started in drag? When and what prompted it? And like, what was your first time wearing drag?
So I moved to New York. I always wanted to live here. Met my boyfriend. We dated for like 6-ish months. He got a job here in New York, and
You met at like a wedding, right?
we met at a baby shower. Jesus Christ! Oh my God, graduation party. Very different.
Same thing.
That girl now just had a baby, so like baby on the ring.
Congratulations.
Baby on the ring. Congratulations,
Good luck.
Sheila.
Good luck to that baby.
Yeah. So we met at a graduation party, and then we're dating for like 6-ish months. He moved to New York.
What year was this?
This was in 2013,
Okay.
2014. 2013, I guess. 2014. I don't know, math.
Two.
Yeah, we just celebrated 10 years. So
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Congrats. We're taking shots after this
Absolutely.
of heroin.
Perfect. Estradiol. And then he lived with like 2 roommates, did not enjoy that, like living with them, and was like, I want to like get a place by myself, but obviously like things are getting serious and you want to live here anyway. You're coming here every goddamn weekend. What if we just like get a place, and if it doesn't work out, you move out? So I moved here with like no prospects. Used to be
And were you thinking about like maybe I could be a drag queen at this point or not?
never.
At all? Okay, wow.
I was an all-star cheerleading coach and choreographer.
Oh fuck! I forget about that part of you.
Exactly. So there's no market for that here, but I was falling out of love with it anyway, and I moved here. We've been together ever since, except for like I broke up with him for a little bit, moved out, came back. I was like, I want to be a single whore in the city.
Of course.
And then I'm like, I'm dumb.
No, see, like I had that, except then the getting back thing
Just never happened. So when I moved here, he was always like working night shift. I started to meet a few friends, and I was just like home alone, bored all the time. So I would like go out to different bars and clubs in the city.
Yeah.
And I would see like Bob the Drag Queen. I would see Ms. Cracker. I would see Tina Burner. I would see all the girls, and was going to all the shows. And seeing Ms. Cracker, I was like, oh, like her like humor like resonates with me. I think she's very funny, and I'm like, I think I'm funny too, and I can do a back handspring.
Of
like,
course.
let me try drag.
The 2 things necessary.
Yeah, it was a performance-based sport that I now have like no use for any of my skills. I'm like, let me throw on a wig and try
Well, you
it.
had this major skill set that most people just don't have. It's like kind of jaw-dropping to witness, having seen you do some incredible flips and splits and backflips and whatever the fuck. It's like, it's insane what Izzy is doing out there.
Thank you.
No, truly. Like, you're the reigning queen of New York City's drag circuit.
Yay.
And so then you're like, Ms. Cracker's doing it. Let me put on a wig and try this.
Yeah, I was like, I definitely like am I've always thought I was like funny and I can talk to people, and I was like would love to do that on a stage and perform, like do a performance-based situation like I used to with cheer. And so I started entering competitions, and then I started winning competitions.
At bars?
Yeah.
Like Pieces or...
Pieces is the main one.
Yeah.
Started winning, got offered a show there.
What color wig? Blonde?
Blonde for like the entire like first year. I was like, Izzy doesn't wear brunette.
No, Izzy's not brunette.
And
Which
then-
we're going to get to some blonde versus brunette rivalries very soon.
Very much. But yeah, and then I got offered a monthly show, and then they were like, hey, you're no longer going to be doing this monthly show because now you're doing a weekly show. And I'm like, slay!
Oh, that's heaven.
And then...
is that the show that is still running?
Yeah, with me and Jan.
On Wednesdays.
On Wednesdays.
What's
with
it
me
called
and Jan
again?
when Jan's there.
Yeah.
Jan is currently being a big star for Drag the Musical.
Big star!
It's actually, tonight is the opening.
Yes! Oh, shit. Okay, so this will probably come out next week, which means...
It's
Congratulations, like Drag the Musical's open. Let's get going.
The reviews are out. We read them all. We're in the future now. Reviews are out. Everyone has a glowing reviews.
Glow.
Yeah.
What's the show called on Wednesdays that you guys do?
Snatched Wednesdays at Pieces.
10 p.m.?
We advertise 10, but we start at 10:30.
Well, it's drag queens.
You know.
I was impressed you were here like right on time today.
Thank you. I mean, that was after a half-hour pushback. I love a half-hour pushback.
And also a rescheduling.
Oh.
A couple.
Yeah, we do have to talk about that. I was supposed to do this last week. What is it, Thursday?
I mean, this is part of drag queen culture. Like, it's to be expected. And also, like, it was last week, Wednesday or I forget what day, but I like woke up that day and was like, I can't move.
That was pretty much your first text you sent me. It was like an hour before I was supposed to be here. You said, if you think I showered, you're dead wrong. I'm on the Upper West Side going to a t-shirt printing shop to make a gift for somebody. Have not watched the movie that we're about to talk about in 3 years plus, and I was just like, so I'm wildly unprepared to even drop everything and meet you now. Sorry, I completely forgot we were doing this.
So tea. I like basically forgot, even though I remembered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wasn't available to do it.
You're like, hey, I didn't make other plans, but I was just kind of in my apartment. Like, if you come, you come.
And you know. Okay, so. I have a few more follow-ups to your drag career, but I think I'm going to weave those into the movie because we're on Blonde vs. Brunette, we're on New York City, we're on the upper echelons of society. Izzy Uncut, what are you babbling on about today?
Today, we are babbling on about my favorite movie, Cruel Intentions. Babbling on. Is that your voice? Who is singing that in
That's actually my friend Benny.
Benny.
You've met Benny?
I know Benny.
Yeah.
The first time I met Benny, I said, oh my God, I don't think we've ever officially met before. And he goes, no, we have.
Oh.
So wasn't the first time, but the first time I remember. And he goes, but it was like
Sounds
real
like my
quick or
daughter.
something. But
My
yeah,
daughter.
nice to like actually chat. I was like, slay.
She is so fierce for that. Like, she was being herself, you know. And Callie is also on the song. Do you know Callie?
I don't think I know Callie.
Okay,
Or
well,
maybe I do.
They created that song
Maybe we
together,
met.
which it's like, holy fuck. Yeah, maybe you have met. They are so cunt for that.
They are so cunt for that.
Why'd you choose Cruel Intentions? It's your favorite movie?
So, it's my go-to, like, say, like, when people are like, what's your favorite movie? I always say that. I've been saying it for years. Maybe if I were to, like, reassess everything I've watched. Like,
But sometimes you just have to pick a movie and be like, this is my favorite. And then it's like, oh, I've actually only seen that once and I don't even know what it's about.
no one wants to hear you, like when
Waffle.
people ask a question, no one wants to, like, hear you be like, well, actually, the thing is, maybe it's da-da-da. It's like, just decide something in life and stick to it.
By the way, that low-key being like the only way I have conversations is like, what movie should we watch? Maybe this, but maybe that.
And if we watch this, what will it actually mean about us?
No,
for,
exactly.
Not just tonight, like, the rest of our lives.
And everyone's like, just pick a damn movie. I'm like, I actually would rather just talk about what movie we should watch than watch the actual movie.
But no, this was I remember writing this down as a little kid. Like, I was truly, like, I think I was in, like, maybe not little kid, maybe like 7th grade, 6th grade,
Damn,
something
bitch.
like that.
You were watching this at that age.
I know.
This is like basically a softcore porn movie.
I know. And, well, I was an only child, so
Oh.
I raised myself.
Congratulations!
So yeah, me being an only child and a Pisces is somehow has shaped everything about me. So I was a
Holy
little
shit!
kid.
Only child and a Pisces. Damn.
I know,
Good
real
luck,
crazy.
Bro. Okay.
So I had to like write about my favorite movie or something in
For
like,
school.
Yeah, some random thing.
Oh, I'm howling. You picked this in 7th grade.
I know.
To turn into school.
I know. And I remember like not talking too much about exactly what happened, but they're just like, so what is like the summary of the movie? And I was like, a series of bets amongst Upper East Side teens.
Did you say why you liked it in that essay? Were you like, I liked the sex or what?
I said, it's a very glamorous film, and I love the way it portrays New York City.
And did you get pushback? Because wait, you're not from New York. You moved here. Where were you
From Jersey.
writing from? Okay, Jersey.
Yeah,
So you had this idea of the glamour of New York life, sort of
exactly.
inspired by this.
I was like South Jersey, like central Southish Jersey. Like,
And did your teacher be like, I need to talk to your parents, like this is inappropriate?
No. Well, so this is all. I feel like now this is a little bit of a sidebar. I've had this experience with every time I had to write about I was always just watching shit that was like too mature for me. In the sense that I remember when I was in like 4th grade, they asked me what my favorite movie was, and when you're a little kid, you just see like you go through like the Blockbuster and you're like looking like oh, this looks interesting. Yeah. I remember I wrote down they're like, write about a movie you've seen, and I was like, Dick. Do you know the movie Dick?
No.
Okay.
Dick's the musical?
No, so I feel like no
Dick.
one has ever watched it.
What is Dick?
But it's a comedy about the Watergate scandal.
Ah! Oh, like Richard Nixon?
Yes.
Okay.
And imagine being a little kid and seeing this cover
Show me.
with Kirsten Dunst and Michelle Williams. Fierce.
Oh, why did
Cunty.
It's called Dick and it's got Michelle and Kirsten. Like,
It's
signing
so
it.
fierce.
Oh,
And
they look amazing. Oh my God, Kirsten's hat and coat.
the entire plot is that they were Deep Throat, and they're the ones that called in about the Watergate scandal.
Wait, who's Deep Throat?
Deep Throat is that was the pseudonym for the person that called in to like tell people. Imagine seeing this. They're in
Of
full
course.
red, white, and blue, just like hippie costumes, little peace signs. They look amazing.
Oh, yeah, for the readers who can't see it, stars, stripes,
Yeah.
American flags.
It's fabulous.
So did you know what the word dick was at this point?
No.
No.
So they're like, your favorite movie is Dick, and I was like, yeah.
Wait, how old were you?
I was in like 4th grade, and I just imagine like my teacher at this point is like my age, the age I am currently,
Yeah.
or was younger.
Yeah.
And seeing this
No, it's
little
crazy.
gay boy with a bowl cut be like, my favorite movie is Dick. So like talking about movies.
Did you watch it
with
and
my
enjoy
teachers
it?
has been a
Watergate?
pastime. Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was good.
It's very funny.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
When I was in 8th grade, we had to do like a report on a historical event, and for some reason or another, I have no interest in these kinds of things, but I chose the Enron scandal, which kind of ties to Watergate and Nixon, and anyway, yeah. So I have some connection to Nixon through that.
We all have a connection to Nixon, and don't you ever forget it.
And then 7th grade rolls around. Cruel Intentions is your favorite. Are you doing this in secret at all? Because I mean, I just watched it for the second time in my life. I had seen it once, like a long time ago, and I was blown away by how like they're basically sucking cock and nipple through the whole movie. It's
100%.
Sexy movie.
And this is a private high school.
Yeah.
Like they're not in college.
no, they're like young.
Insane.
Yeah.
And they made it a point that nobody was over 18.
But maybe
They were like,
because
they're
it
like,
was,
we could all be fucking.
we could all be fine. I guess there is gay sex in it too. So like, but mostly it's straight. What were your parents thinking as you did this?
They didn't care.
They didn't care.
No.
Were they ever
About
weird
anything.
about gay? When did you come out?
I came out like late. I came out literally when I moved to New York because
Okay.
I'm not very close to my parents. So
Okay.
I like sent my dad an email and I told my mom like on the phone. I'm like,
See.
hey, guess what? Moving to New York with my boyfriend. Yep, you guessed it. I'm gay.
horsey.
And they were all like, okay.
You're like, whatever.
They're
Why
like,
is
I
that
don't give a
always
fuck.
the reaction?
Yeah.
I mean, except for when people get like beat up and stuff, but it's like, everyone's like, we know.
Why is that always the reaction?
It's either like, we know, or it's like, die, brother.
Yeah, there's no in between.
It's never like, yay.
It's always like, why didn't you fucking tell me?
I feel like it's always just like, so what? And it's like, Well, it actually is a big deal. So like trying to downplay it that hard, it's like maybe be a little more excited, bitch.
Like they're like, love you, faggot.
Yeah.
Bye. You're like, that's not that's not what we do here.
Okay, so Cruel Intentions. Should we just begin walking through it? And then I have some like broader context stuff. It comes out in 1999, written and directed by Roger Kumble.
Before we do get into it, I do
Yeah.
have to address the way that you have slowly been taking off a sweater limb by limb. For those of you listening at home, you can't tell, but Hilton started in a full, presumably cashmere sweater. No,
It's from a
I can't
thrift
tell.
store. Impossible
very
to say.
cute.
It's cute as fuck. I get a ton of
I'm
compliments.
like
on
feeling it. I'm
My little sister
doing fiber
Lexi,
analysis.
shout out to the queen, encouraged me to buy it.
So both arms were in her sweater. She took one off and just let out one nipple,
And then
now
put
she
it back on, and then took it off again.
Then took it off again. Now both arms are out. She's kind of wearing it like a circle, like an infinity scarf. It is over the shoulders,
It's still
but
on
it
the
has
neck.
been around the
I actually
neck.
need to take it up to this now because I'm just getting warm.
It's
but
so
when I
cunty.
take it all the way up, I'm like, oh, now I'm cold. It's a constant. Oh, fuck! Can you smell my BO?
I would love to.
Take a look. It's pretty strong.
It's
huh?
not that bad.
It's not great.
I'm also a little stuffy. If you hear me sniffling,
Oh, so am I.
call your senators.
And that's gonna. The microphones will pick that up. So
perfect.
God bless. Anyway, Prum Prum Prum. Roger Kumble writes an adaptation of the 1782 novel Les Liaisons Dangereuses by Pierre Chaudelot-Laclos,
Which we've all read.
which we've all read. And
Of course.
We've also all seen Dangerous Liaisons. Have you?
100%. No,
Yeah.
I was kidding.
Oh.
I don't know anything about either of those. Do you?
Well, I haven't read the French thing, obviously, but I have seen Dangerous Liaisons, which is this same story, but set in like period piece time, I think in France with Glenn Close, John Malkovich, and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, cunt.
And that was an Oscar nominated vehicle, one of Glenn Close's noms without a win.
So I'm going to go, let's reschedule. I'm going to go watch that.
Leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that. But I remember watching that and being a little like, what are they talking about? Like, it's kind of going over my head in a way where this, I was a little more in because it was like, these people are fucky, sucky, ducky in New York City.
Fucky, sucky, ducky.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, of course, like, well, let's just dive in. This movie stars three of the greats.
Three of the greats.
Ryan Philippe. How do you say it?
I've heard Philippe. I've heard Philippe.
I've heard Philippi, but I always say Felipe, I think.
Felipe.
Ryan Felipe. That's what I say.
I'm fine with that.
Ryan Felipe, who is the most suckable of all time. in
Of
this film.
course. It
This
was
is one of the most suckable performances.
We'll
I've
get
ever
into the
seen.
gay awakening.
Yeah, we'll get
I think
into
it was my gay awakening.
Was it?
Truly, I really think so.
I mean, let's just dive. Well, okay.
We'll
So
start.
it
Yeah.
begins with the Columbia logo.
Yes.
One of the great
Well,
pre-show
it begins
logos.
with you trying to find a place to stream it and realize it's only available on Freevee, which, if you don't know what Freevee is, it's a free way to stream things as long as you kind of sign the contract that you're going to watch about 45 minutes of ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was nice. I needed the breaks
Oh,
to
that-
type stuff and just look at my phone. And,
Yeah. That's when I started getting ready for that's when I picked out an outfit.
Yeah. Which love the outfit, by the way.
Oh, we'll get into it. I didn't even
Yeah.
do it on purpose.
Freshman
and it kind
15
Of
is what it says on
It's
this
kind of a-
t-shirt.
it's kind of a list
And
of
there's 15
conquests.
names. Are those 15? Oh.
So I'm wearing the
Why do
problem.
your tits look amazing?
Thank you, because this is a baby tease.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a problematic early 2000s Abercrombie and Fitch shirt that I specifically ordered off Depop after the Abercrombie and Fitch documentary came out. It says freshman 15, and then it has a list of 15 names
I'm
that
actually noticing there's technically
people sucked.
16 names.
because there's twins on here, right?
Yeah, Dick
there's
and
Dick
Dirk.
and Dirk,
I want to fuck twins.
right?
Have you ever?
No.
Oh, I have a crazy story, which I honestly just shouldn't tell on the podcast, but basically. Can you read those lips?
We'll talk after
We'll talk
because I
after.
can't get it.
Okay.
I took off my headphones and still was like, slay.
Why did the microphones pick that up? And like everyone knows what
Just
I
like-
said. Okay, yeah. So you're wearing an Abercrombie shirt that says freshman 15 with a list of 16 boys' names on it.
And I put it on, and then I realized like the whole journal aspect. He's like, "It's my list of my greatest
All right,
achievements."
because
to bring up. I
basically
was like,
Ryan
"OT."
Philippe playing Sebastian,
Sebastian.
our main character. A big theme of the movie is he keeps a diary,
Yes.
which and he's kind of narrating the whole thing,
Yes.
right? Is he?
No, I don't think there is a narrator.
No, there's not a narrator. But yeah,
But they always read from his diary, or at the end they read from his diary.
at the end, his diary becomes a big
book.
A big book that is distributed. Spoiler alert. So yeah, we get into it. He is driving into New York in his Jaguar. 1956 Jaguar convertible.
Yes, he is driving past a massive graveyard, and
on the BQE.
And the song "Every Me, Every You" by Placebo is playing. And it's like, "Sucker love is heaven sent."
It's so fucking con. And the credits are rolling, and we're getting Ryan Philippe. Then we're getting Sarah Michelle Gellar. Those two, I think, are on the same card. Like, their names show up at the same time.
Yes.
So it's like one is not greater than the other. I want to emphasize that Sarah Michelle is the star.
She is she was a gay awakening before I saw Ryan Phillippe's ass. Like, it was like, it was like, oh, I know I love this movie because that's a fucking diva. And then I'm like, I love this movie because now I'm horny for a guy.
Fucking amazing, and her tits look so good, and her outfits are unreal.
She was the first Regina George.
She is, before Regina. Because this was 99, and Mean Girls was later than that.
Yeah, and like, obviously, there's Heathers and stuff like that. There's always been like bitchy characters in culture. But there's never been another
Sarah Michelle.
There's never been another Sarah Michelle.
What's her character's name? Do you know?
Her name is... I wrote it down in here.
I do want to point out in the credits, after we get Ryan and Sarah, we get a lovely and Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, yeah.
Like an and.
They give an and, not a featuring. Oh, Sarah Michelle Gellar's name is Catherine with a Y.
Okay, great.
R-Y-N.
And then we get some more names in the supporting cast, and it concludes with another and Christine Baranski.
Yes.
Who's barely in it, but like, love her getting an and.
She kicks it off. She does kick it off.
Because we begin with Sebastian in a therapist session.
Yes.
Oh wait, that's not her though. That's a different lady.
Oh.
He ends up like seducing the therapist's daughter, Tara Reid, and publishing like nudes of her.
Yes. And the only reason that the therapist knows that it's him is because he's being a little creep to his therapist.
He's a fucking pervert. It's so hot how like evilly perverted he is. And like misogynist monster.
Yes.
And it's sexy.
And she's like writing in her like notes about him, just like pervert misogynist
She's writing down
monster.
like stupid oaf while he's being like, I'm feeling...
He asked her for a hug, and she's like weird.
He's like a rapist.
Yeah, then he tells her, "You have killer legs. I'd love to photograph them."
Yeah.
Moments before getting a call from her daughter, Taylor Reid. Tara Reid. Where she says, "Mom, there's pictures of me on the internet." And
it's of her legs.
And the answer is, she goes, "What type of pictures?" "Nudie pictures." That is the line read.
I also have written down, Tara Reid believed someone loved her and he lied. Like, that's tea, and we can relate. And also that she's really good at acting, and the industry let her down. She needs a Sofia Coppola vehicle.
A Sofia Coppola vehicle would do wonders for her.
Like a Tara Reid Sofia Coppola could be everything.
I want Sofia Coppola to remake, what is it? The sisters. They all kill each other. Or themselves.
Virgin Suicides?
Yeah. Can you imagine another one? But it's like Tara Reid.
But it's Tara Reid and playing every character. And Ryan Philippe.
And I love the idea of Tara Reid playing a virgin, like at this late in her life, looking the way she does. They're like, she's a virgin.
How's she looking these days?
I don't know. Presumably
sure
better.
gorgeous.
I feel like people, you gotta go through like
she got really slammed.
the crevasse of like
critics.
of crazy surgery, and then you come back. Like Lindsay Lohan's looking amazing.
Oh, Lindsay looks amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like there's been a huge leap forward in like prosthetic surgery or plastic surgery.
Prosthetic surgery would be fair.
I also have written down, and I just want to get this out there right off the bat, Ryan as Sebastian, one of the most suckable and ass-eatable to ever do it. One of the rare need as top and bottom. What a stupid note I wrote, and yet it's so true.
No, I completely agree.
I need to fuck him and be fucked by him, suck him and eat his ass, and
I can't remember. Is his hair technically blonde or is it brunette?
I think we're looking at
He's
kind
like
of a brunette with golden highlights.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
Because adult male blondes are really scary sometimes.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of adult male blondes.
I know.
And if any of you adult male blondes out there are listening, like, kudos to you.
Yeah.
I have some blondes floating around my life.
You saying I keep a few around.
I keep blondes in my orbit.
You never know when you're going to have guests.
later tonight. We're seeing Honora.
I love
Have you heard of that movie?
the stripper, right?
Yeah.
Sex worker.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
I saw. That was the one where all the strippers went to the movie and they were clacking their heels. Did you see that video?
No,
Oh, it's cute.
but that sounds.
I think it was that
I'll look
movie.
it up later. So yeah, I need to actually like. Ultimately, I need to eat his hole the most of all.
I love
I
that.
bet it's pink.
Yeah. Oh,
Being
100%
such a perv,
pink.
but like this movie is pervy.
I'm also just like, my favorite is she's like, there's nudie pictures. So what had to happen at this day and age, because there was no social media, there
Right.
were no smartphones.
It's just like a blog.
Yeah, if you wanted, like, he had to like buy a domain, and then like, so he uploaded these nudie pictures.
He made a website.
to a website,
Just to be like sadistic. Like he's like a
and
spawn
in
of Satan.
And then the music playing on the website is not music; it is just the sounds. It's robotic words saying, "You are a slut. You are a slut."
Wait, I didn't catch
It's insane. It's psychotic. Like he did he get a web designer? Like how did he do this?
Also, so he's in the therapy office. He's like, there was a point where the only thing I could think about was sex. And so he is 15 years old. Like, how old is he?
So
17?
I did look it up.
Yeah.
He is supposed to be 17. Sarah Michelle Gellar is supposed to be 17.
Okay.
And then
Just like, these are kids.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, of course, at 17, all you can think about is sex. But like,
they're all supposed to be 17 except for Selma Blair's character, who we'll get to.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get to
we got you very
her
short.
behavior.
She,
We'll get to how
Selma
young
is
she's playing it.
fucking crazy in this.
Yes.
And at first we'll get to it. Basically, okay, so Sebastian is the super rich, hot guy who like, his whole thing is like sexual conquest. And then he has a stepsister. After he leaves the therapist's office, he goes back to his Upper East Side mansion where his stepsister, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, the indomitable Catherine something or other, is waiting for him in a bodice. And this is when Christine and Selma arrive as well.
Yes.
He walks in on this.
I am looking at your notes
What
right
have I
now,
got?
and I have almost the exact same thing written,
Wait, which one?
which is, it says, need Selma's koala t-shirt. I wrote, what did I write? I wrote, cartoon koala bear t-shirt. How old is she supposed to be? ... On the spectrum, ?
Yes, she's playing it like a spectrum-y 11-year-old.
Yeah.
But
and
she's also...
she's supposed to be 15.
She's gonna fuck and be fucked over the course of this film. Let's just spoil
Multiple
it.
times.
And she's gonna be like a center of sexual politics. She's wearing a koala... what does it say? Like, can I have a...
I think it's
hug
just a
or something?
koala bear, because
Just a koala bear.
it's like, oh, we went to Australia, and he
Right.
says, how are things down under?
And her legs are spread and her pussy is
Blossoming,
like
I hope.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Christine Baranski's like, please. It's like, it's just like, you would like call the police.
She's like, ooh, she's tugging at her shirt. I got it when I was in Australia. She is playing, like, there is a long line of, like, movies from this era where people were just on the spectrum, and they're like, she's quirky and crazy. Like, I love Legally Blonde, but, like,
Yeah.
she was on the spectrum. Like, that was...
Selma in that as well. Yeah.
Everyone...
Selma and Reese,
Every
it should be
character-
noted, are doing a pre-Legally Blonde get-together in this movie.
Anna Faris, in pretty much everything she's ever been on,
As
has...
Spectrumial.
Yeah, like, you can't tell me that girl from the House Bunny
I'm not
is
thinking
neurotypical.
Reese is Spectrumish.
No, I think
like,
she is.
So my problem with Selma here, and kind of in Legally Blonde, is, but more here, is like, she's not fully committing to it in the way that everyone else is. Like, she's almost like laughing at what she's doing rather than like committing, except then her physical comedy in this gets so extreme that I end up being with her again.
She's like, woohoo, I'm a little
She's like falling over to him, like,
understand.
okay, actually, you're serving. But at first, I was like, you're kind of like making fun of this in a way where, like, I need you to actually get with it and believe in its potential.
I get that. I
then
feel
she
like it
kind
was
of
just
sinks into it.
written so... I think if they were to
hard
remake
role
it...
to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's the only one doing, like, slapstick.
Right. The rest of them are fully like dialed in, like doing a serious sex drama, and she's doing like
She's juggling in the
she's, like,
corner.
falling over, like she's Charlie Chaplin in this. Before we proceed further, though, we almost skipped over some really important things. Victorian Gothic architecture continuing to devour.
Oh, it
this
is
one.
beautiful.
I think it's Victorian Gothic. Whatever's on the Upper East Side. It's
I'll
like
go with that.
floral.
Yeah, a bunch of any architecture lit from below to
Yeah.
look like Gotham City.
No,
Oh,
exactly.
It's gorgeous.
And then Sarah Michelle has such a grasp of diction and lip gloss. I wrote.
That absolutely is true.
You get that. And then, of course, like, I actually feel like you deserve to point this out since it's your movie. Like,
This is like when you knew it was cunty.
Yeah.
It's when she says, when things get too tough or whatever it is, she goes, I turn to Jesus.
Yeah.
She grabs her little crucifix, and this is her like being like good girl to Selma Blair and Christine Baranski, her mother.
Yeah.
The second they leave, she's immediately annoyed, grabs the rosary beads, I should say, sorry. Grabs the
but it's
rosary
like a
beads.
cross necklace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Opens it up, and it has a Coke spoon, and she does a couple bumps. And I'm like,
my God.
cunty.
It's heaven on earth.
And that was like,
I
everyone
need
wanted that.
Yeah, I want that.
And people that have it say it just like it crushes in there and it gets like too like you can't get it out.
Oh,
fully.
I understand. But
Yeah.
maybe if they made a shorter spoon.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
longer
but then it
spoon.
wouldn't work.
We're like, well, then you really can't get it.
Oh my God. You know what it could be? A detachable spoon. But then that kind of ruins the whole thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We need a
So
team of scientists on the matter.
the next thing I have written down is his lips.
Okay.
Do you agree?
His lips, yeah.
Yeah,
they're
like
they're absolutely beautiful. He uses them. Is he liquor? Does he lick them much?
I think he's licking and popping and puffing and prodding.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's a lot of like when you have to like, spread out lip gloss, he's bringing them in like that.
He's doing that. And then the dialogue, I just want to note, like, this is a line of his. I'm sick of sleeping with these insipid Manhattan debutantes. Like, how
Fierce.
fierce and deliciously flowery is this dialogue? You can tell it's adapted from a French novel.
Absolutely. Insipid Manhattan debutantes.
And so this is kind of the setup of the whole movie, this scene that we're in now, where Sarah Michelle is fingering her boob while suggesting and tempting kisses from him, but like not touching his lips.
Yes.
And they're having a dialogue about... Can you walk me through this a little, actually? I get a little tripped up.
Well,
They're making a bet.
they are making a bet, and basically the
They're step siblings.
movie is really difficult to follow.
But basically, there's a girl who's the new headmaster of their prep school's daughter.
Yes.
That's Reese Witherspoon.
Yes. So basically, I believe she says something about like, oh, I'm going to ruin. Oh, so wait, it starts with, I wrote this down. Catherine, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character, basically says she's like, I'm going to ruin Selma Blair's life. So
Yeah.
that's kind of
because
subplot.
she's dating Catherine's ex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who literally was defined by what's his name? Ryan Phillippe's character as a Nazi. And it
See?
cuts to a frame of her. Basically, they're like, he was terrible for you, whatever. It cuts to a scene where she is sucking her drunk driving Nazi boyfriend's dick while he fell asleep at the wheel. Do you remember this?
Holy fuck. Why did I blink
He's in a
and miss
convertible holding a bottle of liquor, is drinking it, parks the car, and then Sarah Michelle Gellar, and this is as he passes out at a parking
Oh, he
spot.
falls asleep.
Falls asleep, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, like, gets up after sucking his dick. I was like, wow, you're just fucking with...
Wait, so did he come while asleep?
No one will ever know.
That's the question. The name on everybody's lips is gonna be Roxy. Yeah, so basically, Sarah Michelle wants to get back at her ex by ruining the life of Selma Blair, who's wearing a koala t-shirt.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Reese Witherspoon has published an op-ed in 17 magazine saying she's going to wait till marriage to have sex.
Yes, with Jennifer Love Hewitt on the cover of that 17 magazine.
I didn't clock. Which is interesting, actually, because... Oh, wait, I think I just lost the plot. But Sarah Michelle will go on to play Daphne in the live-action Scooby-Doo's, one of the great performances, which we should get into Sarah Michelle and Ryan Philippe and Reese's careers outside of this. But doesn't Jennifer Love Hewitt also appear in the live-action Scooby-Doo's? Yes.
Does she?
I feel like she does. Or if she doesn't, I'm thinking of Garfield.
I'm not sure. Once again, only child. I don't have memories.
I might break you off. Let me be a motivation. Okay, so then Ryan Philippe is sick of the debutantes and he's like, I want a real challenge.
And she says, "Oh, well, basically, he's like, I can do this, da da da." So
Like,
she
these
says,
people are crazy master manipulator psychopaths.
literally says, "Oh, but diddling the therapist's daughter was a challenge." And his response is, "She was overcharging."
Like, they're so amazingly evil. So, but he's like, I bet I can sleep with the headmaster's daughter, Reese Witherspoon, who's moving here after publishing her virginity op-ed. And Sarah Michelle goes, no way. If you can do that, if you can't do that, I get your Jaguar car.
Yes.
And if you can do that, you can fuck me.
You can put it anywhere. The icon, like there are so many iconic lines.
Yeah.
This is the first time you hear one of the many people say fag. Basically.
No, like, thank God. If this movie didn't have the word fag in it 30 times, like, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, Ryan Philippe reads the op-ed and it says like, waiting till marriage, blah 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 blah, da da da. My boyfriend Trevor, blah blah blah.
And someone goes,
Trevor
"Trevor's a fag."
understands,
Yeah.
and then Sarah Michelle Gellar goes, "Trevor's a fag."
By the way, him reading 17 magazine just for fun and happening upon this. Like, he is the perfect metrosexual man.
Truly.
He fucks, he sucks, he reads 17. You know he's gay, too. Like,
Yeah.
He fully was fucking the
He has that
closeted
faggot best
guys.
friend.
Yeah, he has that faggot best friend who's like, I love how the faggot best friend is, like, not hot in the way that everyone else is.
No.
But it's, like, something about his, like, cokey personality makes him hot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he would get to at like Exley.
He would be at the Exley.
Yeah.
Morning, noon, and night.
Morning.
And he would also be going, though, to that bar, what's it called? Townhouse on Upper East Side.
Where people
Have
were
you
getting
been there?
murdered in the early aughts.
Good.
There's an entire documentary about there was a guy that was finding dudes at a townhouse and killing them.
How?
I think with a knife. I don't actually
Put a
recall.
knife under the hood. If you find it, send it straight
Hey,
to
to
Hollywood.
Hollywood. It took me a second. I was there.
I went for a big jump, but you got on board. Wait, so like in the bar stabbing or like drugging
No,
them?
would like take people home and then
Okay.
kill them. It might have only been like 2 people, but
That's like literally insane, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Trevor's a fag. Her corset is everything.
oh, it's cunt.
And then I did want to offer up, you know, Sarah Michelle in Sex and the City,
Yes.
when in the LA episodes.
Actually,
she's-
wait, no, I don't.
In the LA episodes, Carrie is going to meet with Matthew McConaughey. You remember that?
No.
Okay, well, basically, Sarah Michelle Gellar plays a publicist setting up that interview, and she's basically, I think, Catherine grows up to be that character.
Okay.
Yeah, is what I'm thinking.
Honestly, cute.
A kind of washed up publicist who's like coked out.
She also, I mean, now we're just talking about like other IP, but Sarah
Other
Michelle
IP.
So Sarah Michelle Gellar in basically kind of like a loose interpretation of Cruel Intentions. Did you ever see Do Revenge? I believe it was on Netflix.
Unfortunately, I missed Do Revenge.
It was fine. It was basically like a kind of modern retelling of Cruel Intentions, not really. But Sarah Michelle Gellar plays the plays the headmaster.
Oh,
It's
I
really
love
cute.
when they pull that shit
Yeah.
and like do the recasting. Although it must be kind of a trippy thing for a Sarah Michelle Gellar to be like, oh shit, now I'm 30 years older. But also it's
Absolutely.
like, you know what? She's had 30 years to come to
She's like-
peace with that. She's probably cool with it.
She's like, I walked so you could
Aging
run.
isn't so bad.
Me, like, actually fully engaged, but also checking my engagement.
Like, do your tea.
I posted a photo of myself today. That's the
How
second
is
I walked
it
in. I
doing
go, should
so
I
far,
post
by
this?
the way? Like, how are the numbers?
The-
I've been flopping with every grid post I attempt.
everything
I
flops.
think I'm shadow banned,
for me
or like
right
the
now.
algorithms are different. Like, and when I scroll through, all I see are like videos of like, send this to someone who has a good heart. You know what I'm
Exactly.
talking? That's like all I get.
Yeah.
Or like Harry Potter memes,
Yeah,
which is just
which is fine.
fine.
I'm not mad
Actually, I'm
about
not pissed, but I'm just like, I haven't seen a friend of mine's grid post in years. Like, I don't see them.
Everyone, it's like it's a ghost town.
It's random.
It's terrible. Anyway,
Okay, so
Sorry.
Reese Witherspoon joins the film wearing all white,
Mm-hmm.
riding a horse. And one thing I wanted to ask was, is this the moment of love blossom? Because you know they dated and got married and had children together in real life.
that's what I'm getting at.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what's tea there? Do you know anything?
I know they met on this set.
They met on this set.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
And they would go on to
That's what I was told. I had a conversation. No, I read it somewhere.
They have a son and daughter.
I
Both
believe
of whom
so.
are growing up to be lovely.
They look exactly. They're
Ava, and
they're
I
both
forget
adult,
the son's name.
Adults. No, but they're both blonde.
They're both blonde.
They look blonde, blue eyes.
They look
exactly
like a
them.
combo of Reese and Ryan.
Yeah.
And like,
Just
damn.
so
the
Aryan.
genetics. They're very Aryan.
It's really crazy.
But they're serving cunt.
They are serving cunt. Reese and Ryan's children serving cunt.
Reese immediately does one of her classic acting maneuvers, which is the like, I don't know if I can describe it, but it's like the front of mouth lisp cadence.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And I
a
love
very
it.
Drew Barrymore.
It's like a Drew Barrymore lispy,
the
like
wild
sort of
child free spirit.
free spirit. Yeah.
Hey, Ryan. Like, yeah, it's very that. She says Ryan.
Hey, Ryan. She breaks character. Hey, Ryan, what are you doing after that?
I'm an American citizen and I'm standing on American soil. Don't touch me. I'm pregnant. Do you know that's what she said when she got... That was her.
Wait,
the
what?
DUI, right?
I fully just blacked out for a sec.
Didn't Reese Witherspoon have the DUI?
Yes, she did.
And when she was like, do not touch me. She's like, I'm an American citizen standing on American soil. You can't touch me. And then she goes, get your hands off of me. I'm pregnant. And then the next day on the news was like, I drank a lot. I don't know why I said that. I'm not pregnant. God.
Why is she everything?
That is mother country.
Wait, I need to like say this now. I feel like I should have said it earlier. Like Reese Witherspoon is probably my favorite actress ultimately. Like I love her. Like she should have an Oscar for Legally Blonde. She luckily does have an Oscar for Walk the Line, which is also a great performance. But I would give it to her in Legal first.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I just love her. Big Little Lies is one of my faves.
It's phenomenal.
low-key, like, she's everything.
Yeah.
And she's great in this. And she has kind of a weird character to play in this.
She does.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah.
Like, the fun characters are for Sarah and Ryan to work with.
Yeah.
But Reese does exactly what is needed here.
And she does
looks
it-
gorgeous doing it.
Executed it.
And I have an
flawlessly.
inappropriate thing to say, which is Reese's Puffs, regarding her boobs
Her boobs.
being amazing.
I hope someone's called them that before. It feels like very Perez Hilton.
I'm sure
era.
she got that as like a bullying thing as a kid. And
Your
now I
Reese's
actually feel
Puffs
bad.
are out.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
shit, I just like did that.
You go, shit.
Okay, so what's next? What have you got?
Well, basically, so she descends from the horse, and you find out that they're essentially at Saltburn.
oh yeah, totally.
Which is like, I guess it's her aunt's house, or it was in the family for...
Completely doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't really matter where she is. And also, where in regards to New York City are they?
Right, they're like on Long Island somewhere.
Yeah,
I
they're
guess.
constantly
They're
just
in the
like
Hamptons.
they're constantly going from Midtown Manhattan to like,
Midtown.
honestly, like it's like a plantation mansion in like,
Oh, totally.
and they're like, it was in my family for 100 years.
It's like,
They're-
yeah, girl, we know.
yeah, and like, how are you getting there that fast? 20 minutes outside of
They took a
Manhattan
blade.
is still like you're
They
not
took a
getting
damn
to the
blade.
Exley.
No, the Exley would be a difficult.
Like, but yeah, they took a blade.
All these characters would hang out at the Exley and then go to Animal. Have you been to Animal?
I haven't been to Animal yet.
Animal's the new spot. It's the hubbub.
That's what I've been told.
So yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
There's a dark room. Okay, so right, who says Dr. King is my favorite? Like that was such a funny line.
I
just have
wrote
it
down
written in
Dr.
quotes.
King is my favorite too.
Who said that?
So basically, Catherine is getting her violin. So Selma Blair is getting her violin lessons.
Oh yeah.
And she's her violin instructor is
This hot black guy.
is this giant like hot black guy that is like arms around her like she's
Teaching her
basically
violin.
teaching her violin in a
Or is
way
it
that
cello?
is oh, it is cello.
It's
You're
cello,
right.
yeah.
So Sarah Jessica Parker, furious.
Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker, Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar, furious to see it, needs to get her attention. She knocks the jewelry box off a shelf, and then the Asian maid standing behind there doesn't do anything, particularly after being abused like this. She goes, "Maylee, be careful. We've had this discussion," and blames it on her.
No, like Sarah Michelle, I'm fully being racist. Like there's a lot of race issues in this movie.
Yeah, Christine Baranski in it, just
Yeah.
with the cello teacher.
Horrifying.
The whole thing is crazy.
But Mei Lee as the maid, has this amazing moment where she just looks at Sarah Michelle after Sarah knocks off the jewelry box from the shelf, which makes me think that this movie is somewhat in on what it's doing, because Mei Lee looks at Sarah with the most like an expression of pure pity and disdain is what I wrote down. And she's like, you're the most pathetic earthworm I've ever seen. And there's no dialogue, but it's just like an amazing moment for her.
So yeah, and then
So who
that
says
is-
Dr. King is my favorite?
So that is
Selma.
what Selma Blair says. So basically they're learning, they're like, oh, that was a beautiful song. And he's like, yes, it's blah, blah, blah. It's harkens back to this time, something, something about Dr. Martin Luther King. And then Selma Blair says, oh, Dr. King is my favorite.
She's fucking crazy for that. I also want to point out how everyone is having a ton of active sex in this movie at this age, and
Snorting into
it
the
makes. I was like, what is that? But it's just a snort.
I'm phlegmy.
Like, I wasn't having sex in high school, and I regret that. Were you?
I was having sex with girls.
You were like fully doing it.
I mean,
I sucked a nipple.
It was mostly
As
just
far as I
like,
got.
it was like very just like, shall we do this? Sure.
And you did
It was
it?
fun. Yeah. I
Were
had
you
like
afraid of getting girls pregnant?
Yeah. Oh my God.
That was a fear of mine.
My first and only girlfriend once said that she had a pregnancy scare, and I think she was just being. No, I'm victim blaming. She was not a victim in the matter. But no, like I'm like gaslighting. I really do think she was just like crazy about it. We used a condom, and I don't even know if I came. And she's like, I think I'm
You
pregnant.
didn't, by the way.
And I was like, congratulations. And I was like, I can't be a father.
I
I'm,
was
like,
so
14
afraid of
years
getting
old.
girls pregnant, and I never had sex with a girl, and I like still would convince myself like, and I was never coming anywhere near any girl, and I was like, I'm gonna.
You're like,
The cum on my hand from when I masturbated 8 hours ago is gonna like infect.
it's gonna
people.
happen.
I do want to point out the line, like Ryan Philippe and his gay friend are talking, and they're thinking about setting up like a gay tryst for Ryan to take pictures of to out this guy in order to make him do his bidding.
Mm-hmm.
And the gay friend goes, I do believe Spartacus is showing on television tonight.
Yes!
I was like, oh girl, like you get it. It was all about watching those like Greek shows for the sex scene.
Yes,
As a kid.
This is where we get more fag content.
Yeah.
The scene starts with Ryan Phillippe just saying some fag, no offense, and the gay friend's like none taken. Like just your straight friend referring to some fag told her this, and he's like
It's
none
so
taken.
good. It's ahead of its time in that department, in the sense of being like so not afraid of offending, and in fact leaning into that.
Yes.
In the same way where I saw this movie last night, which I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Amelia Perez.
No.
It's amazing. It's bold. It's brash. It's about a trans woman. I won't spoil it. Mm-hmm. But basically, I listen to a lot of awards podcasts, so like I've known for months what movies are being talked about a lot for like Best Picture and Best Actress, and this is one of them, and I finally saw it last night. I thought it was so fucking amazing. I think the main actress, Carla something, apologies, I forgot her whole name, is potentially about to be the first trans woman ever nominated for Best Actress.
Fabulous.
And the movie's amazing, and I bring it up because it's like really not afraid to be like irreverent and impolite about trans stuff. And I saw it with two gay guys. I think this other guy was gay, but they were both like afterwards like, oh, I don't know if it handled transness that well. By the way, if you're listening, like, girls, I love you. I'm not throwing shade, but I was just like, okay, I'm the trans one here. You guys aren't. And I think it was masterfully like bold and whatever. Anyway, Amelia Perez.
Yeah, you're like if the movie was
Sidebar.
about just white faggots, then maybe
Right, then-
I wouldn't have a place to talk.
right, exactly. Anyway, so back to Cruel Intentions.
Oh yeah, so basically he is like, he's talking about Spartacus is playing whatever. He is saying, he's like, oh yeah,
So
I can
genius.
find out this information. I know that he's basically this guy that he used to hook up with.
This like football player is closeted and he's sexy, by the way.
He's now in college.
He is?
The gay guy, the gay guy is explaining it, and he goes, every time we hook up, the second he comes, he's like, what are you doing, man? I'm not a fag. And then iconic line, the only reason I kept up the charade is because the man's got a mouth like a Hoover.
I'm telling you, this movie is operating in a different way than
It
most.
is.
Like, it's genius. I'm glad you brought it back to my desk.
Yeah.
Because, like, Wow.
And the way that like this gay person is hooking up with a closeted college guy that may or may not have said something nefarious about Sebastian.
Oh, yeah. So what is the reason that we need to manipulate the closeted jock again?
Well, because Reese Witherspoon's character apparently has heard that Sebastian, Ryan Phillippe's character, is bad news.
Player, yeah.
Everyone has said this about this, and then she's
they
like,
think it's because the jock said something.
because they
to
like
her.
grew up together.
Why
like,
is this movie unbelievably confusing? Like
Yeah, they're
anyone
both
listening to
from
the podcast is gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, they're both from Kansas City together. She goes like she's a year below him. Now just moved to New York. He's in he's from Kansas City, Kansas, or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then
Not
it's
to be
like
confused with Kansas City, Missouri.
correct. Yeah, and
Which, like, why did they do that?
they
Like,
could have picked
get a
any other
different-
city.
get a different name.
But so basically it's like, okay, you gay guy, my gay friend, you're gonna hook up with this closeted guy
So I could
again.
take a picture of it.
And of course
so I
the
can
gay
blackmail
guy
him.
that's had sex with this straight guy many a times is like, oh yeah, I'll let you ruin his life.
Yeah,
Let's
like,
do it.
tea.
Being closeted is
Which, why was
fine,
he
and I've
an
done it,
ally
and I
for
don't
that?
care. Like that's what I'm saying. The
Like,
gay
why
guy
is
is like,
that a good
yeah,
thing?
out him, diva. I would love it. Come
Like,
over and
I
take a
love their
photo of me
friendship.
fucking him.
I love Ryan and the gay guy's friendship. To me, that's like such a beautiful sort of thing. And Ryan let him suck.
Yeah, they've like explored each other's bodies.
Yeah. And on this podcast, we really do a lot of suckability rankings, and I would put Ryan as Sebastian in like top 5 most suckable of all time. Especially when he gives
100%.
that like cold-eyed smile, or like it's like a fake smile, but when he does that, it's like, damn.
Now I'm on the news with a DUS star.
What song is that?
It's Charlie. It's Charlie.
XCX.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spring Breakers.
I heard the Kesha remix wasn't good. Such a shame. 'Cause I
Yeah.
love Kesh.
Perfectly fine.
But I guess she kind of has been flopping lately.
Yeah, her first verse, people are saying, why is it so... I saw a tweet that says, why does Kesha's verse sound like, come on, Mama Ru, give the queen your crown?
Kesha needs to do a collab with Rue. That could save both their careers. Holy shit. What am I talking about? Free Kesha.
Free Kesha.
Okay, so he takes a picture of the gay guys. And then, where are we at? I kind of got... Oh, Sarah, Michelle, and Selma make out in the park.
Yes, they had an
important to mention. And the
iconic
saliva
lesbian
string.
moment.
Yeah. They drink water out of wine glasses.
They do. They basically... She's at the park with her, brushing her hair. And then she's like, oh, you don't know how to kiss? I will teach you. But before that happens, she basically says... She goes... Who was the one that Selma's talking about? I guess it's her cello instructor. Oh, it's her cello instructor that said she used to, I guess Sarah Michelle Gellar is just hooked up with everybody in this movie.
Yeah.
Because she goes, oh yeah, his ex that he used to be with, some bulimic head case, and she yanks at her hair.
Oh, yeah.
Implying that
Sarah's a violent
Sarah was
sort.
fucking the cello instructor first, and then she's whatever, and so she gets mad, and then she's like, "I'll teach you how to kiss him." They make out in the park.
And then we get one of the most iconic scenes in the film, which is Ryan is swimming in his big indoor pool.
Oh yes,
His ass is out.
yes. This pool is supposed to be in the house, but it was actually
Reese
the
walks
Millennium Biltmore Hotel in LA, and you can still go to that pool now.
Oh, fuck. This is the kind of information I need. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Laguna Blue. Shout out to Laguna Blue. She posted
girl.
when she was in LA. She posted a photo at that pool, and I was like, I know this set.
And did she put a sailboat in the water?
No, the sailboat was that was randomly
The
that.
height of elegance.
Was he like? Was it one of those remote control sailboats?
I feel like it was just decorative.
Cool.
And so his ass is out. He's playing Love Me, Say That You Love Me. Reese comes in annoyed that he's blasting music. He's rubbing his bare naked butt, almost spreading the cheeks enough to see the pink hole inside.
Yeah, he is drying off. Well, he first gives her a backpack. And
Oh, I
he's like, you
forgot
hate
about
it.
that.
And then she's like, no, I love it.
Well, it was
mean-
monogrammed. Like, of course you love it.
Yeah.
Like, a monogram backpack.
So she's like, I'll put on a bathing suit, fine. And right before she walks out the door, this is how you knew that she's a little interested. She sprays perfume.
Oh, fuck. I missed that detail.
Yeah.
I'm just reading a note that goes, this is all caps. Ryan asked 2 perfect pink melons needing to be split open and feast until the juices dribble.
So feast.
Holy fuck.
So feast is a word. Obviously, you would think it's spelled differently, but you wrote it almost like reest, like almost like feces. It says open and feast upon. Feeced.
What was I up to that night?
I love my writer friend.
I'm a writer, and that's why the word feast, Feeced, is used.
And what's
here.
hysterical is there are things that are like words that aren't words on here, but this one spell check has done nothing with.
No. The spell check got mad that I added extra E's to the word love.
Fall in love.
The way his tits cleave the water is an important note.
The mini sailboat is the height of elegance. Also, I couldn't tell, but I feel like there's no other reason for this. It's not like a lap pool like that. You see the T marker on the ground underneath the water.
T marker?
Like the tape that they...
Marker of T?
Yeah, it's a T-shaped like thing of tape to be like
so
stand
you know-
here on the step and repeat.
You can
right?
see it?
You see it underneath, and
Why
I
is that
believe
heaven?
it's weird. I love it.
I'm kind of obsessed.
I even remember it as a little kid. I was like,
Really?
That doesn't look
You were an
normal.
observant Oliver, weren't you?
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that's really important, I mean, this is kind of the most important thing of the whole film after Sarah Michelle Gellar's star turn, which I do want to ask if you know, like, was this a breakout for all three of them? Or, like,
I have no
had they
clue.
worked before this?
I was like 6 years old when this movie came out. I probably started watching it like much later than that, but I don't know what the status of their
I don't
career
actually
was.
know. I know Reese Witherspoon did stuff as a child. I don't know about Ryan and Sarah, but I'm assuming they had done some work. But I feel like all three, this catapulted their careers into like another dimension because it was such a huge hit. Which we'll talk box office if we can remember to do that. But I want to say the most important thing after Sarah Michelle being kind of the most important performance of the whole film is watching Ryan and Reese fall in love.
Yes.
In real time. And this pool scene being a huge part
You
of
could
that.
tell. It's very cute.
And of course, Sarah Michelle goes on to play Daphne in Scooby-Doo. I just want to bring that up.
Let that be known.
Which
Let the
those
record show.
Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed or whatever it's called are fucking amazing films.
Yes.
Okay?
I remember
And you're coming
enjoying
back
them.
on to talk about
I
them.
remember enjoying them. I don't remember any of the details. Sorry.
When she rides his lap, I have written down.
Oh, I wrote that too.
What did you want to say about that?
I said dry riding her stepbrother's cock on a daybed. Oh, but wait, this is not. There is just one other stupid little scene where, so basically, before she dry rides her stepbrother's cock on a daybed, the scene starts with Sarah Michelle Gellar watching a video. I don't know how she got video evidence of this. I guess she just put it in
oh
the
yeah,
house.
this doesn't make any sense at all.
She's watching a video of Selma Blair getting a cello lesson from the guy that she used to fuck, the cello instructor.
She used to fuck him?
I think she's the bulimic nutcase that he used to fuck, and then that's why they fuck at the end of the movie, and he's in the trundle bed found. Like she's fucked him before. And
Yeah,
now she's
see,
gonna
that all kind of went over my head. Listeners, if you're listening and you're kind of like, what are the girls talking about? Just enjoy the like comedic twist we're giving because the plot is a really hard one to follow. And I remember that regarding the Glenn Close vehicle, Dangerous Liaisons as well.
Yes.
It's a lot of just
sounds-
manipulation and backstabbing, and you kind of would have to like read it as a book to really get that familiar with all the names and characters to fully know what's going on.
You would
but
need,
just
like-
trust there's strings being pulled.
You would need, like, speaking of strings, you would need, like, Criminal Minds red strings on a wall with photos pinned to it.
You would need the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know
Yes.
that meme?
Yeah.
It's like,
So basically, she's watching this video of her getting her cello lesson, and Selma Blair is getting close to the cello instructor. Once again, Selma Blair just playing this comedically
Idiot.
insane, just an idiot. She basically says, I lost a talent competition, or it was something like I was auditioning for cheerleading or something, and she's like,
This is when
and
she
my
does the
friend said that
handstand?
she goes into a full headstand split in front of her cello
so
instructor.
her vagina
Her
is
pussy is
flaring in
out.
his face on camera in front of like her mom and Sarah Michelle Gellar.
She is like, yeah, she is fully like, her legs are out. She's spread eagle.
the spread eagle.
The spread eagle.
Which,
And
speaking of Chicago, I have something to say.
I'm ready.
Which is Christine Baranski at some point has a line when she sees this videotape of the spread eagle where I forget what the context is, but she mentions having to act like Mary Sunshine 24/7. That's of course her name in Chicago.
Oh.
So I just thought, hi, cinematic universe, how are you today?
That's so chic.
I think Chicago came out after this, so
I love that.
yeah.
Oh, that's so like
Yeah.
it's kismet.
Yeah.
So she's dry riding her stepbrother's cock on the daybed. Basically, she says, "I hate it when things don't go my way. It makes me so horny."
Is this when she's wearing the halter dress with floral embroidery? Because that reinvented the wheel. I have written.
Oh, it might be.
Okay.
I can't tell.
Well, go look it up, bitches.
And then she points to his cock and says, "Down, boy." Which is something I don't even know if this is how it like entered my Rolodex this way. This is something me and my boyfriend, my partner, Anthony say whenever we see like a hot guy that either of us are interested in. Like
go down, boy,
like
to
well,
each
yeah,
other.
it'll be like conversation, and I just see like the eyes drift, or he sees me just like look at a person, and it's just down, boy.
Are you guys open?
Yeah, for the most part.
Tea.
It's never like, where are you? I'm getting fucked, but I'm
Tea.
like, I'll be like, today I fucked somebody.
Okay, okay. So then Ryan Philippe rapes Selma.
Mm-hmm.
So trigger warning, like if you are
Where'd I
a
write
survivor of sexual violence.
Yeah,
or
it is 100% sexual
organizations that can
assault.
help.
He basically he just like convinces her. He tells her to come over. This is that thing, right?
He tells her to come over. For some reason, she's wasted. Or maybe he gets her drunk off of, like, a beer.
Yeah, why was she was, like, in trouble. She had to, like, hide out from her parents or something.
Somehow, he convinces her to come over on a school night and gives her, like, a beer, and she becomes blackout. And she's on her bed, like,
this is it.
writhing around, and he's like, I want to take your photo. And she's like, okay. And then...
She's grounded because Christine Baranski sees the video.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's what happened. Okay. And then she confronts Selma Blair and the cello instructor. Christine Baranski obviously is being racist again. She's mad that he's black. She says, "I got you off the streets." He said, "I live at 59th and Park."
Right.
Right. And then Selma Blair's grounded. So he's like, "Sneak out, come to me, whatever." And then that's when he invites her over, gives her an iced tea. She says, "It doesn't taste like iced tea."
Oh,
He
it's an
goes,
iced tea.
"It's from Long Island."
Which
She's
is, like,
rolling around in bed and she's like, "I don't feel comfortable. I want to leave." And he's like, "I can just call your mother." That is when it gets like, you're like, okay.
It's scary.
Yeah.
But it's like very few movies could you pull off like a full-on rape, which is what this is.
This is
and
insane.
This is like, I have to babble this all out, but like, which I won't. It's staying in. But it's just like, you're still with it in the movie. Like somehow
Yeah,
you're
like,
still with the character.
He's fully like, he's like,
Sebastian.
I don't want to kiss you here. I want to kiss you down there. And she's like, "I'm not comfortable with it." And then she like,
This is, I
and
guess,
then he
really
convinced-
problematic of me to endorse, but
this is really crazy.
it's like
I was
it's
watching
a
that.
movie. It's a fantasy. Like obviously in real life, I don't condone this kind of behavior at all. But in the movie, it's like
Yeah.
pulpy fun.
Yeah,
Somehow.
he threatens to call his mom. This is what I wrote. He threatens to call her mom. This scene is kind of rapey. He says, "I want to kiss you there." Then they hook up.
His dead-eyed smile makes me wet.
Yeah.
The soundtrack, can I point out, is just incredible. And at some point around this part, we get the Fatboy Slim song "Praise You." I'm gonna praise you like I should. Reese Witherspoon gets silly in the car.
I
and
wrote that too.
That's when I think they fall in love in real life, was my hypothesis.
Yeah, with
Reese
the
and
little
Ryan.
devil horns.
She's like being goofy while they're driving in the car together.
They're driving in the car from, basically there's this random subplot where not even subplot, just a random thing where Sebastian has to hang out with someone in an old age home.
Oh, yeah. That
he
part
commits
lost
elder
me.
abuse and
Yeah.
lies to a woman with dementia and says,
confuses her.
"We played backgammon.
And
you
they
won
didn't.
3
They fully
times."
didn't.
And then he says, "And then I fucked your daughter." What? I said, "Would you like some water?"
He's like really
He's
evil.
really crazy. And then on the way home from that's when she gets goofy in the car.
I do want to say I have written down need Selma's lip liner as she explains her molestation.
Yes, she looked absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Michelle Gellar obviously victim blames Selma Blair, basically saying, "So he made you suck his cock. So he forced himself on you." And then she's like, no, he kissed me down there. And she's like, so he ate you out. And she describes having an orgasm
That made her pass out.
Yeah, she describes having an orgasm like it was her first time ever experiencing it. And then Sarah Michelle Gellar like basically convinces her that because you came, it's okay, and says it's like you're part of a secret society. And that's where we get the iconic secret society.
Is that Selma?
Yeah, Selma Blair's dancing around like because she's like, ooh, secret society.
She's like a
I'm
mentally
sexual
disturbed
being.
11-year-old. It's really freaky.
It's really
you
crazy.
couldn't make this today.
And just
they
like
tried
that,
a few times to make sequels that all flopped.
exactly.
Yeah.
And just like that, she then becomes a cock-hungry whore.
Yes.
For the rest of the film.
As it's important for all of us to do at some point in our lives. What was I gonna say though about her? She's insane.
Well, then she goes back to like actually get fucked by him, like full penetrative anal, not anal, Jesus, full penetrative sex.
Yeah.
She post coital, she's eating a giant platter of maraschino cherries.
She's living it up, doing her thing.
She gets pushed to the ground for at least the second time in the movie, like full like pratfall.
Knocked over. She's the type where you kind of just need to shove her over sometimes. Do you know that clip from Scary Movie that is on Twitter sometimes where it's like this girl talking about her like history report at the front of the classroom and the teacher is like a drunk, and at some point the girl's just being really annoying and the teacher gets up and shoves her to the ground and goes, "Oh, shut the fuck up."
Yes.
It's heaven.
It's heaven. That type of girl.
I don't know what I was going to say, but another important thing to say is I have written down, him going down a staircase, Jigglypuff died, which I assume is a reference to his ass cheeks quakingly jiggling as he descends a staircase.
Sounds beautiful.
I don't remember that exact moment, but it sounds like heaven. And then I also have written down, men have boobs and faggots are women.
I get that.
His and her lip liner and their tits. Okay. I mean, these notes are really
My notes are just more about her being a
wish I knew
cock-hungry whore. She goes, going to the bathroom. Oh, he's like, I'm going to take a shower. She goes, want me to join? He's like, no. She's like, want a blowjob? He says no. And then she's like, prude. All of a sudden, she is like,
Who are we talking about? Sarah Michelle?
no, this is Selma Blair now. Like,
Damn, Selma's
she
like
is
fully
like
come
begging for
into
cock
her
now.
own as a cock whore.
It makes no sense. She's 15. Like, she is 15. He is 17.
How did she get cast? I mean, I guess she's good, but I'm just like, I never fully got Selma-fied.
I
mean,
don't.
she's great,
She is
especially
great.
these days. Like, she's standing up for. She has a
Her documentary was very
a
sad.
horrible disease. I forget what it's called, but it's so cool of her to be like outspoken about that.
I completely agree.
And she's actually great. It just took me a second to get into her performance in this because at first it felt like she was laughing at it, not with it.
It felt like she was in a different movie.
Yeah.
And now it's like we know that she is. It's like I don't think it was obvious that she was going to be the comedic relief for the entire film.
At a certain point, Sebastian comes very close to achieving his goal of having sex with Reese.
And then he develops a conscience.
He develops a conscience and then he can't do it. And when he rejects her, because she's like, let's have sex, and he's like, I can't. And he leaves, she's full of tears. And I wrote down, that's us. Like, that's what we are.
That's what, you and me?
Yeah.
Or
well,
the viewer?
I mean, I guess me, I was like, I relate to this moment.
No,
like, of
I didn't know if you.
rejection
I didn't
and
know if you
pain.
meant you and me.
That's
like
your and my
it was-
dynamic.
It was me. It was me forgetting to come here on Thursday.
That was last time. I'm laying in bed sobbing.
And then she's so upset that like this guy that she wasn't going to have sex with up until this very moment says, no, I can't have sex with you. She leaves the next morning.
Yeah, she leaves. New
She
York
ups
City.
and runs.
She gives it up. This is a moment where I wrote down blonde versus brunette, and I do want to take a second to back up, slow down, widen the scope here. We have Reese versus Sarah versus Selma in a blonde versus brunette battle. And in a larger cultural context, blonde versus brunette is one of the oldest fights in the books.
Yeah.
And it makes me want to ask, like, you chose blonde as your first wig. How did it feel first stepping into drag as a blonde? How did it feel? And then, like, where are you at in the war of blonde versus B?
So I definitely wear like more I definitely wear like not just exclusively blonde now. Every time I wear blonde, it's very like it's kind of it just feels the most Izzy. But when I wear brunette, everyone's like, "Oh my god, you look so good with dark hair," and I was like, "I know, and I can't do it all the time because it won't be
won't have the
exciting
same
when I do it." But I do think I actually look better with brown hair in drag. But I just
Which team are you on in the fight?
so I have always loved a brunette. I don't know why I
Brunettes
love
do it
blonde hair
better,
in drag.
low-key. I'm
Whereas
sorry.
I guess I just started it with that, but I've always stood past doesn't stand. I've always stood a brunette.
I've stood a brunette my whole life.
Like I was always more. I loved Nicole
you-
Richie more than I loved Paris.
And also, by the way, it should be noted in real life, we both have brown hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do have brown.
So,
hair.
like, we are brunettes.
I used to be a platinum blonde, like little 14-year-old.
Oh, you bleached
boy.
at 14?
Oh, my mom was a hairdresser.
Bitch.
I was.
Don't start with me.
I had a platinum blonde, basically a bob, my entire life. Did you not know this about
No,
me?
show.
Oh my god!
We'll put this in the show notes.
in the show notes.
I want to say too that just like team brunette, like, holy fuck.
That
that's
is me
gonna
at
be
the
episode art. I need you to
2010.
send that to me.
That is me at the 2010 cheerleading world championships.
Why is it giving Owen Wilson?
It's the nose.
I need to say, when you're at Pieces hosting Snatched Wednesdays and you're looking around and there's straight girls in the audience, who's better, blonde or brunette?
Brunette always.
Yeah.
Brunette.
Oh, that's tea.
I love a brunette.
Brunettes are like college educated, intellectual, reading books on the subway, whereas blondes are
Making TikToks
on a spring break
Can you imagine?
bus.
On a what?
Sorry.
On a spring break bus.
Sorry to reinforce stereotypes, but look around at the world. It's basically true.
And it's me on stage, like in a blonde wig, just like fucking just throwing back shots of tequila straight at a gay bar. I'm like, woohoo!
By the way, blondes, I'm obsessed with you. I love you. Like, I love blonde men. I love blonde women. I love blonde days. Like,
Never change.
don't change. And by the way, you're really smart. Like, Gwyneth Paltrow is one of the smartest people I know.
If you're blonde, consider changing, but then don't do it.
And
Just
if
for
you're a
drama.
brunette, keep doing you, sister.
Keep doing you, baby.
Okay, so they have quiet sex at a certain point. He falls for Reese, and Sarah Michelle goes for the jugular. So
Yeah,
okay.
she fully runs off to Penn Station, and then he somehow drives his car there and gets there first.
Yeah.
Waits for her, and then they make up. They make love.
So they do have sex in the end, and it's really quiet in a way that I
It's
appreciate
really
it, because
quiet.
sometimes, like, that's obviously kind of awkward in certain situations, but actually in this, it's really intimate and it works, and it made me want to point out, like, sometimes quiet sex can actually be really amazing.
It is really nice. Yeah.
You don't always have to be like, give it to it's your whole dad.
Yeah.
Not that stuff isn't fun too.
Buttercup.
Buttercup.
Fuck it up,
Buck it up,
Buttercup.
Buttercup. Say that next time.
That's so good.
I command you to say that next time.
So then it cuts to
Where did her boyfriend go, by the way? Where did Reese's boyfriend go? She had a boyfriend.
Did she
She had a boyfriend
in the film?
in the film.
I don't believe.
We never met
Oh,
him. Remember?
Trevor understands.
Trevor the faggot.
Yeah, Trevor's a fag. You're right.
Like, where's Trev?
We never heard of Trevor. Did they announce that they broke up?
I have a theory that Trevor the Toad of Neville Longbottom and Harry Potter is a transfigured version of Reese's boyfriend in Cruel Intentions, Trevor.
I could absolutely see that.
Or he's an animagus. That one was more from me than anyone else.
You said that's just for me.
That was from me.
Well, you said that. I said I know these words. I'm gonna hit my vape. The crackling of the vape is kind of a
Why
Yule
am I needing
log.
to smoke weed at Monday?
The
at
crackling of a vape
3:45
sounds like a
p.m.?
Yule log on a podcast. Like, let's see if we can get a.
Oh, I hear it.
Wait, why did ding?
Why did that disturb me? The microphone's nice and vaped up. I want to say this too. Speaking of Yule logs, I worked on a set last
Sorry,
week
I'm
for
blowing it at you.
a YouTube video. I guess I already told you this, but just for the listeners, the video I was an art PA on was one of those videos you can click on YouTube that's like 3 hours of a crackling fireplace.
Yes,
And
that's
there was
why I
a
brought it
full
up.
crew. I just think that's so
I didn't know if you were gonna. I didn't know if you were gonna tell. That was just kind of for insiders.
I
Yule
went
log,
for it.
mama.
Wait, so final moments of the film, we're actually cruising towards the end.
We are.
Sebastian and Reese sleep together, and then he decides he doesn't want to fuck Sarah Michelle.
Yes. So
And then she denies him and says, I don't fuck losers.
yeah, she goes.
But she gets the car, right? Or no?
So she says, So basically, Sebastian breaks things off
No,
with
she
her.
doesn't get the car because he did it.
He breaks things off with Reese and says, like, he's like, I can't do this, da, 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 da. And she's like, you're a coward. You finally feel for me, and blah, 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 whatever. So then he runs back and he goes to tell Sarah Michelle Gellar, and she is fucking the cello teacher.
Yeah.
That is where you see her iconic blue bedroom. The cello teacher is under a trundle bed, runs out and goes, a lot of weird shit happens in this house.
He's under a trundle bed. Now, just one more time, what?
He is...
Where is he?
So a trundle bed is the one with a drawer underneath, and he is laying under it.
He's in a drawer.
He's like, he hit
So
her.
he's in a drawer.
He hit her. So he was fucking her. Sebastian knocks on the door, and
He's
then
in a drawer.
and she hides him in a drawer under the bed. He runs out, whatever. That's when he's like, hey, I fucked her, blah, 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 but I can't be with her. And she's like, she says, what you don't understand is this was just me. You're my little toy. I was playing with you the whole time.
She's the mastermind.
My thing was I was trying to get you to fall for a girl and then lose it all for me. And now we're not going to fuck because I don't fuck losers.
So
Goodbye,
he comes to her
Sebastian.
thinking that he's ready to fuck now?
Yes.
Okay. God, it's hard to keep up with when they're in and out of love with each other.
So then Sebastian immediately gets back in his car, tries to make things right because he's like, oh my God, she played me. I should have never called things off with Reese.
So he ends up in Central Park, which he would have totally killed on Sniffies.
Yeah. Well, he then he goes to a house party that Reese's mom is throwing to be like, can I talk to her? And they're like, she's not here. And really, she's crying in her bedroom. And he's like, just give her this. And it's his journal with like a handwritten note.
Which nothing sexier than the fact that he keeps this detailed journal.
This
with
detailed
illustrations,
of conquests.
photos. He's doing like
It's the first burn book.
It's the first burn book.
Yeah. So
Regina.
he tries to give it to her. And then when
He's in Central Park talking to the cello player in a heated discussion next to the car.
the
lane.
cello player tries to like beat his ass because Sarah Michelle Gellar says he hit me. So Sarah Michelle Gellar claims that Ryan Philippe hit her, and he's like, of all the crazy shit that he's seen, it's like these two. Mind you, did we ever discuss that they are stepbrother and stepsister?
We mentioned it.
Okay.
And by the way, obviously that's like one of the hottest components of the whole film.
It walked so Clueless could run.
Yeah.
I don't know which came first,
in
actually.
Clueless, they end up married, the steps.
Do they?
Or they end up together.
They end up together.
Yeah.
And this isn't even like step, but divorce.
Crazy
This is
how
like our
movies
parents
end
are
back in this.
married.
Movies used to have crazy endings. Like,
Yeah.
I'm about to do a You've Got Mail episode. And that also is a fucking weird ending. But
So basically Sarah Michelle Gellar tells the cello teacher, like, hey, like, he hit me. And he's like, he hit you? Oh my God. So he goes to like beat his ass in Central Park. He like chases him down.
Reese finds them.
You can take it from
And
here.
so basically, Sebastian and the cello player are fighting, wrestling. There's cars driving by. Reese is screaming. She tries to stop them. She falls into the road, and Sebastian jumps in, pushes her out of the way of a car, and saves her life in the process, dying himself.
He gets a very, what I would call, it looked pretty minor. There wasn't much blood
I know.
loss.
I thought he would live.
Yeah.
I really thought he would live up until the credits were rolling, but he died.
She holds his hand. He has like one bloody thing on his forehead. His final words are, I love you, Annette. And then he dies. And then the next
Why
scene.
did that flop, low-key?
I know, right? Then the next scene. It's because the name was Annette.
Well, there is Annette Bening.
Yeah.
And there is the film Annette with Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard, which I never saw.
I've never seen it either.
Heard it's
And then there's Nanette, the comedy special that wasn't funny.
Oh, that's
It was
Nanette.
specifically not funny.
Is that the one that everyone... Oh, wait. Is that the one people like or don't like?
That's the one people
I think I
either
s-
love or hate. I'm
think-
from the camp of you
Hate?
can't market something as a comedy special and then make it
I
a
think
one-woman
I
show
saw it and
about
actually
trauma.
was a little gagged by it, but then I'm pretty sure that comedian, blanking on the name, did a follow-up project that was like critically maligned.
The one about
Picasso.
Picasso being problematic.
Yeah, and it's like low-key Picasso's my
It was
phone
called
background.
something. It was called something like problem. It was something.
Problemista.
It was like problematic. I believe it's called.
Like, why is that not tea?
I don't know.
Okay, so it's Sebastian's funeral.
Yeah.
Sarah Michelle is reading the speech.
And because there are no smartphones, there is no way of anybody finding out this information quickly except for somebody handing out fully bound books that looks like printed books with like the plastic little spine when you would like when you're doing like a line readings for like a show.
It sort of reminds me of when Anne Hathaway gets the Harry Potters bound and sent with the twins on the train.
Yes. This movie is very Harry Potter.
Well, I'm like a Harry Potter freak, and also I have been re-listening to the audiobooks as I prepare. There's an episode coming out tomorrow about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, so I have Harry on the mind. Anyway.
So the books are being handed out to everyone, and people are just...
During the funeral, people are getting up and leaving the church to go outside and find out what all the hubbub is about, and discovering lots of published copies of his journal.
Yes.
Detailing her crimes.
Yes. Well, when this happens, Sarah Michelle Gellar and Reese Witherspoon have their first moment together. The entire movie.
I never even realized that.
Where basically, Reese is like, Sarah Michelle Gellar is like, have we met? Or Reese is like, have we met before? And she's like, I don't think so. And she's like, oh, sorry for your loss, whatever.
Yeah.
Acting like she doesn't know that she knows everything and that she orchestrated this crazy plan.
Yeah.
Then Sarah Michelle Gellar comes out. That she does her like eulogy
Starts her
thing.
Speech, but no one's listening. They're all running outside. She runs out after to see what's going on. Everyone's reading the book.
It is made abundantly clear that
her rep is over.
Yeah, that Reese Witherspoon is the one that published this entire thing post. What's it when someone dies? Not post-mortem, but posthumously. Like the Sophie album. That word entered the.
Is that out yet?
I believe so.
Oh shit! I need to catch up.
We're gonna go. We gotta go listen to.
You gotta say about because wait. The most important thing about this whole funeral scene, though, is the music, which is one of the great songs of all time, which was on a compilation CD I made in high school called Life Volume 1 about my most important songs, and that is the Verve's Bittersweet Symphony That's Life. Trying to make ends meet, you're a slave to money, then you die.
So, Selma Blair,
what happens to Selma? In the end?
Selma Blair hands her the book because she finds out too, like you're part of Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, okay.
And then that's when, forgot about the silly little hint.
What's tea?
Basically, Reese Witherspoon in the bathroom with Sarah Michelle Gellar when she like meets her for the first time and wants to kind of hint I know you know everything. Her little hint of like, she goes, well, when things get tough, I turn to Jesus. And she says it to Sarah Michelle Gellar, referencing back to when she says that about her Coke necklace. So then Selma Blair hands her the book. She knows for a fact. She's like, that was a little weird that she basically quoted me from a time that she wasn't there, whatever. Selma Blair hands her the book. And then is it her dad or it's the headmaster of the school basically like goes to Sarah Michelle Gellar, grabs her Coke necklace, opens it up, pours out the Coke, and they're like, oh, we know all your terrible things that you've done. Like, if this is true, everything in this book is probably true.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's the plot of what was that?
I think it was like it was my glasses scratching on the microphone.
So that's the plot of Cruel Intentions.
Yeah.
Perfect title, by the way. I want to...
Oh, and it ends, yeah.
Yeah.
Ends
driving out of New York City.
Driving out of New York City in the same convertible with the actual copy of the journal on the passenger seat like it was in the first scene when he was driving into the city.
And why is that low-key Reese and she looks so cool, sun-drenched, wind in her hair and the...
It's also like, this is not how inheritance works. Like, there's no way she would have got that car.
But somehow she has the car. But why is her glamorously driving away from New York, low-key her driving into, like, her movie star career? Like, I feel like this is her now. It's like, I'm driving away to go play Elle Woods.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to play... What's her face?
She said, running straight to Hollywood.
Wait, we need to put art pop over that scene. Oh, I'm totally doing that to promote the episode. What is, except I would never cover up Bittersweet Symphony, so we actually have a problem.
You're right.
What is her, Johnny Cash. What's her name? Johnny, in Walk the Line, he's playing Johnny Cash, she's playing June Carter. Okay, right. I think that's her name.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
So broader context of this film as we reach our conclusions and closing remarks on it, like It has a 53 in Rotten Tomatoes. It raked in 76.3 million worldwide against a 10.5 million budget. So way over.
Rotten Tomatoes needs to like go back the way Pitchfork did and like really look at some of their low-ranking films.
That's
the ones that have
a good idea.
the way that like some of them have become cult classics. You can look at them with a lens of like, okay, so now that we're not in the time that this was made, what are your thoughts?
Right.
Like, everybody needs to like go back and.
That's interesting because I actually feel like a lot of art, when it comes out, is maybe not generating in the most fruitful time for it to be seen. Like a movie like this, I feel is actually, well, I didn't see it when it came out, but I like watching it now as this time capsule of a thing that would most certainly be basically impossible to make today. I mean, I guess we did just have Challengers, but this is way different than Challengers. Just because there's two guys and a girl doesn't mean.
Yeah.
Oh wait, this is two girls and a guy.
It's two girls and a guy.
Forget everything.
Well, there's the one gay scene where the faggot tries to ruin the closeted guy's life. So
Yeah,
it's Challengers.
So it's Challengers.
In this house, it's Challengers.
No, I think it's interesting how things sometimes are better when a few years have passed and it's no longer like of the moment.
Yeah.
I think this is 3-star performances from Ryan, Sarah Michelle, and Reese. Sex appeal wise, Ryan has basically never been touched by another, and then like acting and outfit and conch wise, few have come close to touching Sarah Michelle.
100%.
Sarah Michelle, and like we didn't even get into her outfits, but like she has this black hat at one point. God, she's everything.
The outfits were phenomenal. It's the corset with like the little like champagne-y little drapey thing with the blazer over top.
That is my favorite.
It's so cunt.
By the way, this absolutely paved the way for Blair Waldorf.
Whoa, 100%.
Yeah.
There's even a scene, I think he's like writing on his journal. They're sitting on the Met steps, and I was like, this is Gossip Girl.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking down. There were 2 sequels that both flopped. I think like went straight to DVD. There was a canceled reboot series, and there was a musical. First sequel was cut together from 3 episodes of a canceled TV show called Manchester Prep, and
That's
I guess
hysterical that they're like, this movie is actually it's just clips
3
of a
episodes.
television show.
Exactly. And then also, I guess Amy Adams played a younger version of Catherine in one of these spin-offs.
Wild. Yeah,
So
this was the era of like, we're gonna make sequels that have none of the original cast. They're just vaguely similar in plot. That was the Bring It On All or Nothing era.
Yeah, which I haven't seen.
There's 100 Bring It On sequels, and they're all bad.
I've only seen the original, and even that, like, I really didn't do my due diligence of watching enough.
That's okay.
Okay, so closing remarks / who are you in the 8 as we wrap up? Have you changed?
That's the thing. I don't know. Who do you think I am? Prescribe for me.
Okay, well, one thing I like to do is transpose the 8 onto the subject we're talking about. So I actually would rather give you your casting card for Cruel Intentions. And I think you are, gut reaction, you're the faggot friend.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
The Platinum Blonde, like that photo I showed you.
Yeah. Who am I?
Ooh. You're not Selma.
No, that's so funny. I was opening my mouth to be like, say not Selma.
You're Selma's koala t-shirt. No,
I think low-key, I want to go ahead and give myself Sarah Michelle.
I think you're Sarah Michelle.
Yeah,
You're smart. You're calculated.
I'm smart, calculated. I have
look at
big
this. Look at these
boobs.
notes you wrote. You know what I
And
mean? This is your list of like. This
No,
is
exactly like few came so prepared.
Yeah, you're so prepared and ready.
Oh my god, my BO. Holy shit.
And you're wearing a fabulous necklace. I
have
don't
the
think it has
BO.
coconut.
It has glass. Actually, do you want to charge it? I like to invite friends to hold it.
How does this
charge
work?
it with good energy. You just like squeeze it and give it some love.
Imagine it cracks in my fucking hand.
It's going to. The chain already broke. I got it in Berlin. I was just in Berlin, bitch.
I've charged it. Is that enough charge?
Yeah, that's good.
that-
I feel it. Oh, I feel lighter.
Oh.
Okay. I love you, bitch. Thanks for coming out. Wait, where can people catch your shows?
So
Monday
first
night-
of all, I love you, bitch. Thank you for having me.
No, I love you. Thanks for coming. Like, I know it's a long journey, and we'll have to have you back on soon. I want to do an episode about like gay bars in New York, which I was going to reach out to Jan about, but it would be fun to get your POV on that too. So we'll see how
That'd be
shakes
fun.
out.
Whatever's clever.
Yeah. So, okay, walking through your week, I want people to know where to catch you. Mondays.
You can find me Mondays at Barracuda in Chelsea, Wednesdays at Pieces Bar in the West Village, Fridays at Hardware in Hell's Kitchen. Saturdays, I do brunch at Rise in Hell's Kitchen. And then Saturday nights, I am at Playhouse in the West Village.
Damn, bitch,
And then
you're
obviously that's a
busy.
pain in the ass to remember. It is all on my Instagram. All social media is at Izzy Uncut. It's IZZYUNCUT.
Loving it.
And where can they find you, Hilton?
Where can you find me? If you haven't been able to find me, but have still found your way to the end of this podcast episode, kudos. Mama, kudos for saying that, for spilling. And Hilty Hilt Hilt is my
Hilty Hilt Hilt.
handle.
I love
So
it.
Go get the girl. Go get our girl.
This was absolutely
I love
fabulous.
you. No, why was this heaven?
I love you so
I love
much.
you. I love you.
Also, what the listener doesn't know is Hilton has the cutest apartment.
Oh my
I'm
God,
absolutely
stop.
obsessed.
I love it.
It is the first
so
time
much.
seeing it,
I
but
can't
not the
afford it.
last.
It's random that I live here, but like it's so heaven. It's like
Random.
it's my little. I call it my little fuck hut.
I love it. It's such a fuck hut, and you're gonna go fuck.
I might,
Okay.
if I can squeeze it in before my movie. It was a bittersweet symphony that's live. Hitting stop.
I'm gonna talk about all the things that I wanna talk about. We'll just keep talking. We'll just keep talking. Just keep talking. Talking. For so long. We're babbling on. We're babbling
Babbling On is created, produced, and edited by Hilton Dresden. The theme song is by Benny Cortoletta, featuring Callie Baker, and is produced by Benny Cortoletta and Jack Grouse. The artwork is by Hilton Dresden. Audio consultation from Kenzie Woodrow and Dallas Seeker. Special thanks to Alec Cohen, Natalie Rotter-Waitman, Molly Montgomery, Nick Krause, and to everyone who has subscribed to Babbling On the Substack and refused to shut the fuck up.